We're moving on to the red team for today's interview. The youngest fighter in the PCR 10 crew. We chat about his sporting success, both on the motocross track as well as the soccer field, and the injury that came very close to ending his sporting career permanently. Special thanks to Road Trains Australia, major sponsor of today's guest, and Gobsmacked, major sponsor of the Perth Corporate Rumble. So please welcome Wylie the Cavalry Scott.
Yep.
Team Red as well.
Team Red.
Nige.
Yeah, that's it.
You happy with that?
Yeah, I'm happy with Nige. Happy with Craig as well.
Craig's a good man.
Yeah.
I went to school with him.
Oh, did you?
That's how old I am. He's a good man. He's always been like that. He's just always been consistent, even through school, after school.
Yeah.
He loves it. His whole family's down there at that gym, isn't it?
Even his kid. He's pretty good. I actually sparred against his kid.
His son?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not bad.
And did you ever go to Anarchy?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You did?
Yeah.
Oh, how'd you find that?
Briefly, I went there towards the end of last year because I had an operation. I couldn't do anything for the start of the year.
Yeah.
Went there to get my fitness back up. That's when Glenn had it.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. Really did. Then went away for work. Came back the following year. Started school this year and it changed over to Ben Keem.
Yeah, Keem. He's a good man.
Yeah, it is. Good vibe. I still go there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I still go there.
That was something where I did hear that, like, obviously I found out that Glenn did sell it to Ben. I thought, oh, it's great because Ben's been involved with the PCR for years.
Yeah.
And he's a quality guy.
Yeah,
he's a great guy. And I thought, oh, that'll work out very well because he's well respected with the people. Mm. And then I saw he changed the name to Good Vibes.
Yeah.
And I must admit, I can say it now, I wouldn't say it at the time, I was thinking, I'm not sure how this is going to go.
Yeah.
Because it's changed from Anarchy was very much it had the dark blue colours and it seemed very...
Like boxing, competitive kind of...
Yeah, but also very, like, respectful with very much a family thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how it was going to go, but he's gone from strength to strength in there.
Oh, I think
he's done
even
very, very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm there a few times a week. I train with Coach V once a week.
He's great as well.
V.
He's a quality guy.
I've been training with him for a few months now.
Okay.
And he's great. I've got a lot of time for V.
That would be very handy.
Yeah,
very handy.
So.
That's great. I'm glad he's doing well because I wasn't sure, but good on him. Good on you, Ben.
It's a big family really there now. This Saturday we've got a big picnic at Kings Park and everything.
Oh, beautiful.
He organises that. It really orientates everyone at the gym.
Yeah. No, he's a good guy. I'm glad he's doing well. Good on you. And Coach V, that's a name I haven't heard for 6 months. He's a good guy as well. Hey, we got a mutual friend I only found out the other day who actually fought in PCR 2. He got the win in PCR 2. You know Dave Dawes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he asked about you the other day.
Yeah.
And he's Subiaco physio. He's my physio.
He's my physio too.
Yeah. Oh, quality. Subiaco physio.
Yeah.
He works out of Beatty Park now as well. So anyone who wants a good physio, Dave Dawes. And he obviously didn't say anything about, obviously can't say about any of the treatment he has.
Yeah.
But he asked me if you were coming in, and he just mentioned, he goes, has he told you anything? And you mentioned your knee injury.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You did go into a bit of detail about this. It's called, you had a meniscus transplant.
Yeah.
And you had, I've been practicing this all morning, and I'm going to butcher this, distal femoral osteotomy.
Yeah, no. I butcher it every time as well.
I just call it DFO. Okay, DFO.
That's good enough.
Tell me about this DFO because this is a serious injury.
Yeah. So, do you want to know about how it happened?
Tell me how it happened.
So, 2019, 4 years ago, I think next weekend, I was playing high-level soccer in Darwin.
Yeah.
And towards the end of the game, extra time, just was running flat out, jumped up, landed, ruined my knee, meniscus, ACL, all the stuff.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I was pretty gutted. I was going pretty hard back then too. I was only 17.
You seem to be pretty gifted in the sporting field.
I've done pretty well.
Very well.
Old man's pushed me pretty hard all the time, as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
But I had a physio up there, Josh Tidswell, with elite physiotherapy.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. He actually used to work with Dave, I think, at a footy club, like an AFL team.
Oh, at North Melbourne.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's actually how I got in contact with Dave. He recommended me when I moved down.
Yeah.
But he wanted me to go interstate to get the operation done to fix it up.
What did they actually do?
So the first operation I went in and they repaired my ACL, and they told me they repaired my meniscus as well. I think it's the lateral one, the outside one, lateral meniscus.
Is that where they actually stitch it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they stitched the ACL back together.
Yeah.
And then they trimmed my meniscus or something.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Is meniscus cartilage?
No, meniscus.
It's not.
How they describe it, to me, was a bit like a shock absorber between your bones. So you got your femur and you got I can't remember.
Tibia and fibia.
Yeah, and it's like a bit of a cushion between those two bones, so they don't clash on each other.
Yeah.
And cartilage is actually what's on the top of the bone. So I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah. So if you ruin your meniscus, your cartilage starts rubbing, and that's when you get arthritis.
Oh, okay. Okay, so they took out, they shaved your meniscus, they shaved the shock absorber.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they repaired your ACL.
Yep.
Did they take a bit of your hammy for that? Is that how they do it?
Yeah, they take a bit of your hammy.
Jesus.
It's painful. Well, it was painful for me.
Yeah.
After the surgery, like the hammy was the most painful thing for sure.
Tight?
Yeah, tight and just sore. I couldn't move it.
Oh, Jesus.
Not for too long, about a couple of weeks, but...
It's amazing what they do, though.
Oh, incredible.
How is it now, the hammy?
Hammy's fine now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plenty of rehab on it?
Yeah, heaps.
Okay.
I've got no idea.
So go back to this this operation. It seems like it's going to have it's not a 6 weeks and you're back into it.
No, so an ACL is 12 months if you can tear your ACL completely, any sport. But had the operation, I had to suck it up. That's what it is. Started just I couldn't do anything else. Soccer at the time was all I was playing. I was going pretty hard at that.
Who'd you play soccer for at the time?
Mindle Aces Football Club.
Okay.
In Darwin.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would that be equivalent of here?
I played for their Premier League in Darwin, which is their top league in Darwin.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not sure how that top league compares to down here. There's obviously a lot more competition interstate.
Yeah. Okay.
But they were good. That was good competition.
Yeah.
I was a part of the state team for the 18s and the 23s.
Oh,
and
jeez, that's
development
great.
thing for the men's state.
Yeah.
But I just did as much as I can, hang around the club, help out with coaching. Because at the time I actually worked for the Football Federation in Darwin, the Soccer Northern Territory.
Yeah.
I was the sports coordinator there. Go around to all the different schools and teach soccer, fly out to remote communities.
So this was your whole life?
Yeah, it was at the time. Straight out of high school, got offered this job, and just took it and went from there. And then this injury happened and pretty much ruined me.
Did you know when the injury happened that this could be a career-ending injury?
Yeah, but I've always been too determined to let that kind of stuff stop me.
Okay.
Yeah, people said, you got to take it easy. I'm like, nah.
Not going to take it easy?
Nah, I'll get
back.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
And what's happened? How long did the injury take to recover?
So we had that first operation.
Yeah.
They told me everything's fixed. As long as you do your rehab, follow your physio, you'll be fine to go.
Yeah.
In 12 months' time. I'm like, okay. So about 3 weeks after my injury, I actually turned 18.
Okay.
And I was like, it's the first experience of going out to town and things like that. That's all I could really do, like to socialise with my mates. I couldn't train with them, couldn't do nothing with them. I'd just go to the game, and then on a Saturday night, if they had a win, I would take off into the city and do that kind of stuff. So
because you wouldn't be able to really be drinking or anything that's going to cause inflammation in the knee.
But I was, because I was just like, I guess that's all I could really do.
Yeah.
At the time, I kind of like spiraled down a little bit because I was just like, fuck, what do I do?
It must be, on one hand, you're lucky that it happened at 18 because you got a very good chance of healing.
Yeah, yeah.
But on the other hand, you're 18.
Yeah.
That's when you're not sure you got the tools to be able to...
No, exactly. I'm a young adult.
Yeah.
Eyes of the law, and I was just experiencing what it was like with that injury.
Because you, of course, wouldn't have had a drink before you're 18.
No, I was old man strict on me.
Oh, really?
Big time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember one time I lived in Broome with that photo.
Oh, yeah, we're going to bring that photo up later, mate.
And when I raced dirt bikes, I raced dirt bikes for 10 to 12 years.
Yeah.
That was the main sport until I got back into soccer. Oh, boy, it was so strict. Like, you wouldn't believe it. No alcohol, no girls, no nothing. It was just school. And then I had to do my schoolwork because I'd need most Fridays and Mondays off to travel to race dirt bikes.
Jeez.
Yeah, and it was always fitness. Mornings before school, I'd be up with a trainer at the beach running sand dunes, go to school, go to my part-time job after school, back down to the beach with the trainer, like just getting fit as, and then in the arvos when Dad would knock off work, he'd take me out to the track and I'd just do laps and laps and laps.
Jesus.
Pretty much. I'd be on the bike at least 4 times a week and training every day.
What was his background? Was he a motocross rider?
My old boy, yeah, he used to race when he was younger, growing up. He's from Elgin, down south.
Okay.
Elgin, Boynup kind of
Yeah,
area.
I know.
And he used to race down there.
Down at Cozy Creek?
Yeah, he never did. I raced there. I've raced Management 15,000 a few times.
Really?
Yeah.
That is incredible, that place.
Yeah, it's unreal. It's my favourite event.
That's cold there all year.
Because obviously Broom's complete opposite.
Yeah.
Training up there in the heat over the or the wet season, over October to April when the off-seasonal race and motocross is.
Yeah.
Training in the heat, the sweat, and then when I was about 15, 16 and stepped up to a 250.
Yeah.
And it's obviously very expensive to travel from Broome all the way down to Perth to race in the bigger events because you need the competition. So ended up leaving the bike in Perth with all my race gear, and I'd get on a plane on a Friday, fly down. My old boy would pick me up because he'd be down there for work. Pick up me, the bike, all the gear, and shoot off to the state rounds, race the state rounds, clean everything, pack it back up, back on the plane Monday, back to school. Kind of stuff that would happen at least, I reckon, once a month. I'd go down and race those big races.
Really?
Yeah.
That is a serious commitment.
Yeah, that's why it was kind of like a two-way deal. Like he said, if I'm going to do this for you and put all this effort in, you got to make sure you're ready to go. I was like, deal, done.
Were you wanting, were you aiming towards a career in motorbikes?
I would have loved a career in it, for sure. But it was just from Broome, the money that you have to spend. Like Perth is up north, say, we'd go to they call them Northwest rounds.
Yeah.
Like all the north, like from about, people from Carnarvon all the way up to Broome go to these events.
Yeah.
And the competition there is nothing compared to Perth. Like I'd go to these events and win by a fair hike.
Yeah.
I'd come to Perth and so up north you'd have probably 20 bikes on a gate. Yeah. In Perth you'd have 40 all lined up for a race.
I've seen it down there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. And so aggressive.
Every time I came down, I was in A class, the top class, and I'd finish top 5 every time, which was a pretty good feat from coming from up in Broome.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything crazy. I had the bike and the gear, but it wasn't just stock out of the shop. There was no performance parts on it, or people spent thousands and thousands of extra dollars on it.
I did find that I remember having a conversation many years ago with a motocross rider by the name of Jeff Leask.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and
my old man used to watch him.
He was absolutely incredible.
He's one of the best to do it out of Australia.
Jeff Leask, and I do recall him mentioning. I was very young, but I remember him talking about the difference between a stock bike and one that's been worked.
It's like you can't compete, really.
No.
When I'd come, that's what I mean. On a stock bike, I'd come down and
still finish top
5 against the top 30. All have these flash bikes, and I'm just going as hard as I can from pure fitness and just the drive to be there. So I've worked so much harder to be there.
They've got such an advantage over you from the start.
Yeah.
It's like about a 25% increase in speed and
coming out of corners, off the start line, everything. Yeah. When you come down there with a stock bike, don't get me wrong, there's a few of us, but you just had to be on point. You couldn't afford to make a mistake, because if you did, they'll just get you that extra second here, there. You got to make it up.
Having that level of discipline, though, from such a young age, how is that? I mean, do you look at it now as in that's been a good thing?
Oh, I couldn't thank my dad enough.
Yeah.
Now.
At the time, though.
At the time, like some days I'd finish my part-time job. This day I remember so clearly, and I worked hard this morning. I had a hard session that morning. Went to school, had a shit day at school. Went to my part-time job for just a couple of hours afterwards. Knocked off at 5, and then my old boys picked me up. He said, "You got your training gear?" He's got my training gear in the car. He's like, "You ready to go to train?" I said, "No, I don't want to go today." He's like, "Why not?" I said, "I'm just tired, don't want to go. And to get to training, we had to drive past the turn off to go down to our street.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Dad, I don't want to go." And he just looks at me and just keeps driving past our street.
Just ice cold, is he?
Didn't even say anything. He said, "You're going to train." And once we got there, kicked me out of the car. He said, "I'll see you in an hour." Dropped me off, picked me up. But afterwards, I'm like, "Yeah, I did it. I'm better now. Thanks for that."
That must be the financial commitment for this kind of stuff must be huge, because you go and you obviously got petrol costs, you've got new tyres. I'm not great with bikes, but I could imagine it's just ongoing.
The maintenance for these machines is incredible, especially at the top. Like when you're racing the top guys that are going as fast as you can, they're throwing thousands and thousands of dollars at it. Like it's not like I get on a plane and I come down for soccer comp from Broome, or say if someone gets on there for a boxing comp or something, they just take their gloves in their boots. Yeah. You got a machine that's worth $12,000 out of the shop. Then you need a trailer to put it in. Then all your protective gear, fuel for the bike, registrations. The list goes on.
I've seen some of the trailers that those guys turn up to Cozy Creek on. Yeah. It never used to be like that.
No,
it used to be someone with about 3-4 bikes on the back.
No, it's gone through the roof now.
It's a
money game in the junior ranks. If you got a lot of money and a lot of drive, you normally do pretty well.
Is there enough? Is there a big enough following in Australia for someone to make a career out of it?
Yeah,
there is now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can stay in Australia. Obviously, there's a lot of international.
Boys I grew up with. There's a couple in particular that have made a career out of it, and they're on the East Coast now because it all happens mainly on the East Coast too. Like WA's pretty good, but the East Coast where all the national rounds are, all the series is, all the factory rides, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But you'd think they'd have the fast riders over there, which they do. You're on there quick. They've got it all there. Like if you train with the best, you're going to become the best. But the best guys from WA go over there and they're beating all them guys. They're the top over there.
Really?
They're the big names, yeah.
Are there people with all the gear, the fastest bikes, like the best of everything, that just struggle?
For sure, yeah.
That'd be me. I'll just be at the back. I don't want to get dirt in my face.
Yeah. You get a lot of dirt in your eyes, don't worry.
It is... Physically, it has got to be one of the most demanding sports.
Like my trainer that I had growing up, we trained running, sand dunes, and boxing for motocross.
God, how do you think? I mean, obviously, with the injury that you had, was caused by soccer. But how are your knees and your shoulders and your ankles?
Like from that injury?
Oh no, just from the motocross.
Fine, really. I had one, or I actually had a couple major injuries from racing dirt bikes, regardless of my knee. That year, you got that photo.
Okay, let's just go on to this photo. I've gone on to the Broome Advisor newspaper here. What did they refer to you as? Wylie takes youth sport by storm.
It actually refers to my injury in that article.
There's a photo gone.
I don't know.
Lucky I screenshotted that photo, mate.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's go back to that. How old are you there?
14 in that photo.
Look at that. Look at the red dirt.
Yeah.
Is that what you used to race on?
That's what we used to practice on. That's Broome. So
it'd be a lot different.
The big difference coming down here for that stuff, racing.
Because it's almost like one's in the dry and one's in the wet.
Oh, it is. And then I've raced in places like Bunbury. That's a pure sand track. Collie, that's a sand track as well. And up north, you don't really get sand. And it's a big difference riding on hard pack to sand. For sure, sand is so much harder. It gets so much more rougher.
Yeah.
It's so much more fitter. That's why I was training so hard up there, because you don't have the tracks and things to train on it up there. You just got to make do with what you've got.
They still race at Noble Falls?
They haven't for a while. I think I heard talk that they were trying to get it back going again. Okay. I think, but I haven't had a big round there for quite some years. Yeah.
I just remember it used to always be cold.
Yeah.
Every motorbike race we went to, it used to be freezing cold.
When I came down for the Collie State round when I was on that 250, when we used to leave the bike down here, it was just me and my old boy, and we go down there, and I remember it was -1 degrees, and I was sitting on the start line on the gate with my bike running with everyone else, and I was like used to training in 38, 40 degrees,
sweating,
99% humidity. Coming to that, it's like a big shock.
Does the adrenaline though, that'd have to wipe out all the cold, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it helps for sure. It doesn't wipe it out, but it helps.
It depends where you're sitting in the pack.
Yeah, especially if you get a bad start, which I did actually a few couple times that weekend, and the sand just stings when it gets flicked off tyres and hits you and it gets in your eyes, and it's just a joke. You come back to the pits, and my old man said I came in and he had a kettle boiled with hot water, poured it in a bowl. I took my gloves on, my fingers were like tingy blue for how cold it was. I just stuck my hands straight in boiling water. I just felt nothing. I was trying to heat them up again.
Jesus.
Like when you're holding on, you got to move your fingers when they're that cold to grab the clutch and the front brake. There's so many mechanics in the sport that people don't really think of. They just think you sit there and twist a throttle, but it's so much more.
I can imagine. And I did go through your Instagram. I don't have it up here.
Yeah.
Where is it? I do see you riding a lot around here with, there's one with no helmet. I just thought that where is that one? That's you.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, that's in perfect motorbike gear here. You got a singlet. You look like you got a pair of Nike shoes on, no helmet.
That's my parents live in Darwin now. That's in Darwin on our 5 acres.
Okay.
So that's just like a little play around bike that we've got in the backyard.
That's you there.
Yeah, that's me there.
Have you dropped a bit of weight since then?
I have. I think like when I first did this injury, I was lean, really lean. I was 78 kilos.
That's real safe, that photo. Yeah.
Yeah, then I went up to, I think the heaviest I was like 89 or 90 kilos. For my height, that's pretty heavy.
You'd have to be extremely strong.
Yeah, I'm pretty strong for my height, or for my size and who I am, yeah. I'm back down to, in the mornings, I think I weigh in about 83 now.
Yeah.
I think I weighed myself the other night at the gym. I think it was like 84.9 or something.
That's what you're going to be staying at?
I think roughly. I spoke to Nigel about my weight, what I got to be at. He said they're a bit more lenient this year with the weights.
It was about a 5 kilo.
Yeah,
I think it is.
Yeah. I think Alex is about pretty close to
92. I think he was when he came in the other day.
Well, 92.
I think. No, hang on. No, it wasn't 92.
I think it was like 80. I think it was 82, 83.
82.
Yeah.
92.
Yeah, so
little difference there.
Yeah. So we're reasonably similar in weight.
Yeah,
so
and height.
Yeah.
I'd say that.
So I don't think we have to cut too much. It's just maintain and get as fit as we can, really.
Are you still riding the bikes?
I haven't raced properly since we moved to Darwin because we moved from Broome to Darwin.
Yeah.
And the cost to, like, Darwin was just, at the time, the motocross scene there was just crap. Like, really, really bad. We went to a couple of race rounds there and it was just, like, we didn't enjoy it anymore. Like, we went there like, this fucking sucks.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
just because competition?
Competition, it was just so fucking odd, and how they ran it wasn't how it should have been at the time. But they've improved now. I've got mates that still race there and they said, yeah, it's really good now. So, but,
when did you get the all clear from this injury? So I've gone off topic here a bit. I'm fascinated by this injury.
So which one? Because I've had 3 operations.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well, you've had your...
So I had the first one.
The first one where you've had your rehab?
The rehab.
Yeah.
And it was about 10 months, 11 months, I think. Oh, maybe even longer. It might have been a year, actually, 12 months.
This is all in Broome or in
Darwin.
Perth?
This is in Darwin now.
Sorry.
So I moved to Darwin in 2018.
Do you live in Darwin now?
I did, not now.
Okay,
I lived in Darwin from 2018 till halfway through 21.
Yeah.
And then I moved down here for school.
All right, so we're mid-2020 now. You've had, say, 12 months of rehab on the knee?
12 months.
And where are we at?
I'm that keen to get back to playing.
I can imagine.
Yeah, because I know I'm just about there.
Yeah.
I've done the 12 months and I've seen my physio, and my physio talks a lot with my head coach and my soccer club.
Yeah.
So nothing slipped by. I couldn't sneak in anything.
I can imagine, yeah.
No, can't kick a ball, can't do nothing. But yeah, I went and done all the tests you got to do, like for an ACL reconstruction to get back to sport, and I passed them all. Yeah. And my physio said, yeah, you can have a run this weekend if you want. Far out.
Kane. I bet you didn't ease it in on that first game.
So we went into... They put me in an under-19s game just to get me going again. I got 2 in that game, 2 goals.
What was the fitness like at this point?
Wasn't too bad, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But I monitored myself on the pitch. I knew what I could do, I knew what I couldn't. I was trying to be really smart about it. Okay. So I didn't want to go out there and gas and then take a wrong step and do something silly straight away.
Yeah.
But no, I had a good game. Everyone was pretty impressed. Then started training, back at it again. And once I got back into training full on, my knee kept swelling. Like it kept swelling back up. Yeah, with fluid. I'm like, fuck, what's going on? And everyone was saying, it's just your knee's not used to this low. Like it'll get used to it again. Like you're just going so hard again and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And it never got used to it. It just kept swelling and I couldn't run. And then I'd have missed more games and I wasn't. Then my physio would say, you got to have a couple of weeks off now. It's like really like getting to me. And I knew, like, obviously getting pushed so hard growing up, I know my body pretty well. Like I know when I need something for it or if it needs a break or whatever. I could tell if something wasn't right. I said, look, it's not right. Yeah. And then it got to end of that season. I ended up still playing and I got selected to play in the 19s grand final because we made it in and the Premier League grand final. I was just on the bench. I came on with like 5 minutes to go, but it was still good of my coach to put me on there and give me a run for the grand final. And we won both of them that year. And got to off-season, went away for work again because my auntie and uncle got a grain farm down in Lake Grace. Go down there every year and help out for harvest. But came back and said to my physio, look, like it's not right. And he knew it too. He said, yeah, I think you might have to look at go get another op, have a look.
Is this in Perth?
It's in Darwin still.
Okay, still in Darwin, yep.
Darwin. So this is start of 21.
Yep.
I'm like, yep. So I went and saw the surgeon in Darwin. And he went, I always pronounce this wrong too. Like Oscar, like just that keyhole surgery, they go in and check it out.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know the one.
Yeah, you know the one? Yeah.
Sort of more to have a look.
Yeah, more to do that, and if he finds any little thing, you can
just sort it out,
touch it up there. Yeah. When Pate got that done, and after the operation, he came out and said, yeah, look, because they all thought I had like really bad, like my meniscus was ruined and this and that, and that's why it's all doing it. And the surgeon came out and said to me, look, your knee's not as bad as everyone said. Your meniscus I've just trimmed up. There was a bit of a flap and there was a bit of loose bone or cartilage in there that I've taken out too. So you should be ready to go in 6 weeks. And I was like, fuck, like over the moon.
Yeah.
And at this point in time, I'd already been accepted to move to Perth to go to uni mid-year. So I was like, great, I'm going to be good for when I get down to Perth. It'll be 6 weeks between now and then. I'll be able to get slowly back into sport, meet people at new clubs and things like that.
Which uni are you at?
I'm at UW.
Okay.
Yeah. I live across the road at one of the colleges.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, it's convenient.
Yeah.
Nice
really
spot
good.
down there.
Really, really good on the river. But came down after that op and again just tried to get a part in the college sports and things like that. And then he just kept swelling. Even it was like, I felt like it was worse. I'm like, fuck, like I literally couldn't run down the street without it blowing up. Like at all. Like even if I'd go have a hard day at like a part-time job or lifting weights in the gym, holding the weights, it would puff out at the time. I was like, fucking what's going on? And I rang my old boy up and said, nah, it's still not right. And he's like, what do you want to do? I said, I lost my temper a little bit. I was like, I'm going to see someone here. I don't care what it costs. I'm just going to see someone that fucking one of the top guys. Yeah. So at the time as well, I'd been recommended to start seeing Dave at Subiac Physiotherapy, and he's brilliant. Like I can't fault him.
He's good, isn't he?
He's brilliant.
He makes me sick. He's so good at his job. He's so good looking. He lives.
Yeah, he's telling me.
Just right there.
Yeah.
Jeez, Dave Dawes.
He's brilliant. I trust everything he says. Like, if I have any issues, I just send him an email, or when I see him, just catch up, tell him what's going on.
He's so invested in his clients, isn't he?
He puts a lot of effort into my program, and I can tell that, and I really, really appreciate it. Like it's gotten me to where I am so fast from this last op I had. Yeah. But anyway, started to see him, and I said to him, told him the story about what I've just said now. He said, yeah, look, I think you're going to have to go see someone down here if they're still doing what it is. Like straight away, he didn't fuck around and say, no, keep doing the rehab, we'll see how we go. We did for about a month, and then he said, no, you got to go see someone. So I went and got referred to see this doctor called Peter D'Alessandro, and he is like the big dog in Perth. Like he does all the footy players. I'm pretty sure he does the operation before mine, that neck before day or whatever. He did like Nat Fyfe shoulder. Like he's the guy to go see for sporting injuries. Yeah. Saw him. He sent me off for an MRI. Came back, and when he was reviewing, he said, "Look, whatever you're doing right now, if you're doing any sport, anything, stop. You're not allowed to do anything. Otherwise, your knee's going to be ruined for the rest of your life."
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm like...
It's daunting.
And I was 20 when he said that to me, and I've just moved to Perth by myself. Mum and Dad aren't there. It's just me trying to sort out my knee by myself in a new environment, all this and that.
This is in 2021?
Oh, yeah, sorry, 2021. Yeah. And I was 20.
Okay.
Yeah. This was about September 2021.
In the peak of the COVID mayhem. Yeah.
Right, I'm like, okay. He said, look, you've got your cartilage is ruined in your knee pretty well. On the outside, your meniscus is no more. It's gone. It's not there. I'm like,
how'd that happen?
I don't know. This is why it gets to me sometimes. But I said, yeah, okay. I said, what does that mean? He said, you can't run or do anything right now, because if you do, you just keep wearing away on your cartilage, because it's just bone on bone rubbing like on that outside. That's why whenever you try to run, it just can automatically, instantly swells straight away. I'm like, oh fuck! Like, what do we have to do? Like, can we fix it? He said, yep, this is what we have to do, and he described we have to do a DFO,
Yeah.
and that scared the shit out of me. So
That's a major operation.
DFO, whatever, you got the word up there.
Hang on, I'll give this another crack. It is a distal femoral osteotomy.
Osteotomy. I think that's how you say it. Osteotomy. I think I spelled it wrong or something. I don't know.
We don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
but anyway, we know.
That's
the DFO, that's what we talk about in the medical game. That's what we refer to it as.
So what that entails is, well, first he sent me away for a alignment scan, just have a look at the alignment of my legs. Came back and said, yep, because of the way it is, we can do a DFO. And what that is we will cut your femur in half with like a saw or something. Cut it in half.
Oh my God.
At the lower part of the femur towards the knee and realign it. I think it was like 4 or 5 mil inwards, like towards the inside of your knee, so it takes the pressure off the damaged side and goes more through the inside of the side that's good. That hasn't got any damage. And I was like,
that is a major.
When he said that to me, and I was 20, sitting there by myself, and to make it even better, it wasn't just him sitting there. He went and got 4 other surgeons to come in and have a look at my MRI and discuss on what they should do, because how serious they thought it was. I'm sitting there like, what is going on? One surgeon's there trying to comfort me, saying, oh, it's going to be all right, mate. We'll get it going. And I was like, fuck. So they said DFO, and they said, we also have to do, it's very rare, super rare, is a meniscus transplant. I'm like, yeah, all right.
They can transplant meniscus?
Apparently.
Jeez.
But get this right. So it's not like out of me or something. So what do you mean?
Is it a shark?
You wait.
No.
So I said, what's that mean? He said, it comes from a donor. I'm like,
oh, please be an emu or something.
I'm like, a donor? He's like, yeah, like someone your size, your height, roughly your age and weight has to pass away and have to be a donor, and we cut it out of them and we put it in you. Like an actual donor.
Oh, so it's a
human donor.
Okay,
yeah.
A human donor.
Yeah, I was like, what? Like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what's going on?
My God.
So I said, what does that mean? What do we do?
So you're on a waiting list like
He
people
said,
who have heart transplants and things.
Yeah, so he said, look, I'm going to put you on a waiting list in the Australian pool, and I'm also going to put you on a waiting list for the US pool, because Australian pool's a lot smaller than the US. You're more likely to get one from the US. Only problem is, if it comes from the US, it's not covered by any health insurance.
Oh, it sounds like an expensive louting there.
Because they have to cut it out over there, and then they have to ship it over in like the special container and all the stuff. Obviously, you can imagine it's a living organism, whatever it is. I said, yeah, okay, so how much is it going to cost? Like, it's just me. I've got how much it's going to cost, and I'm just moved down for school and trying to live and start a new little life. And he said, roughly, including everything, the DFO, everything, you're looking at probably like 13 to 15 grand. I'm like, fuck.
Still doable though.
Yeah, it's doable. I'm like, damn, it's a lot of money for me.
Massive.
Like, yep, no worries. Like, I have to do it. I left the clinic, a bit emotional, called up Dad and told him what's going on. He's like, shit, like, all right, we'll help you out, do what we need to do to get it fixed. And
do they know what caused this?
It's a grey area. It's a bit of a touchy area. They say, was it fixed the first time properly from the first operation? Was it not? Should they have known that it was ruined when they told you it was good the second time?
Okay.
Like, it's a bit of a touchy area. Like, I don't want to like go at anyone and say, look, you did this to me, yada yada. But because they didn't do it on purpose. If they did, they're not going into an operation purposely to ruin my leg. They're trying to fix it and help me out. Yeah. But it did piss me off a lot.
I can imagine.
Big time. Because I went from all this high-level sport to a promising maybe little career to nothing overnight. And it's been like that for 4 years, just about.
How are you dealing with that?
I didn't deal with it too well at the start. I was just turned 18. I was just going out and drinking and partying with my mates because that's all I could do. And then then I got back to playing, and then it was ruined again. And I just kept doing the same thing for a couple of years, just being a teenager, just 18, 19, just going out to clubs and running amok. And don't get me wrong, I had some good times, but if I could go back and not have the injury and continue with my sport, I'd do it every day of the week. Yeah, for sure. But he said that to me. I'm like, yeah, okay. I said, what do I go? He said, we'll call you. Like, there's no there's no like time because we have to get a donor.
Yeah.
Like, we have to get a part. I'm like, okay. So they gave me a rough estimate though. They said, hopefully we'll have one by about January.
Yeah.
All right. So I went
This
away.
is January 2022.
2022.
Yeah.
Went there. Got back to Perth after I'd been away for working and up to Darwin for Chrissy and everything like that. Came back ready to start a new year. I was like, commit. I'm like, this is it. I'm going to really knuckle down with my uni and I want to get as fit as I can before this op, whenever it's going to be. So they told me January. I was expecting it to be maybe there.
How would you go getting fit if you can't really do anything with your knees? Is it a lot of swimming and things like that?
I couldn't even do that. I couldn't do anything. I was just more what I was eating, things like that.
That's key, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not putting on weight.
Yeah.
It's so easy to pack it on.
Oh, it was. I put on a few kilos from being... I was super lean and then putting a few kilos just going from the gym and stuff like that.
How would it be focusing on uni when you've got this absolutely consuming you in the back of your head?
Yeah, it consumed me. It still consumes me now to this day, but it was obviously getting better now.
Yeah.
But back a couple of years ago, that's all I thought about. And what am I going to do? How am I going to get back? And yeah, it consumed me. And I think my parents noticed that. My mum did. And yeah, but I said, no, I don't care. This happened. I can't change it. I just got to deal with it and do the best I can. Do the best, make the best out of my situation. So came back in Jan 2022. Went to the clinic. I said, look, we don't have one yet. Like, yeah, right. And I said, hope, but you're on the US pool. I'm like, okay, as well. I'm like, yep. So I was hoping to get it from Australia because that means it's covered by healthcare.
Yeah.
Uni had just started, 2022. I think we were 2 weeks into uni, week 3. Started week 3. Phone call from like the hospital number, or whatever it is. I answered. I said, how you going? I said, oh, hi, Wylie.
Did you know on the phone?
No,
okay.
I didn't know. I said, have you been receiving our emails? I'm like, oh, I'm not sure. I haven't really had a look yet. Why, when you sent it to me? I said, oh, a couple of days ago. Yeah. I'm like, okay. He said, we've got a donor. I'm like, all right. Where from? They said, it's from the US. I'm like, yeah, okay. I said, and because it's a living organism, you're not like on a wait list for cause you know how it's pretty booked out to get an operation? Like you're on a wait list to get like the clinic itself to do the operation at hospitals.
Yeah. Like
you're on a wait list for months. Because it's a living organism, it has to be done. I said, you're in 2 weeks' time, you're in getting this operation done. I'm like, far out.
Jeez.
Like, yeah, so it all happened overnight, getting the op. I went down there. Oh, and I forgot to say this. My surgeon, Peter D'Alessandro, he's big in the private sector and the public.
Yeah.
And he knows my background. He said, look, because of COVID at the time, he was getting shut down in the private sector, so it wasn't going to be any quicker with doing the operation than it would be going public. So he said, I'll try to get you in through the public system as well.
Okay.
He ended up getting me through the public system. I didn't have to pay a thing.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, nice
So all
work.
the money I'd saved up to pay for it, I just got to keep in my pocket, which is
beautiful.
unreal.
There's some good doctors out there.
Yeah, he really was. He's amazing. What he does is phenomenal, really. But like shit, when they told me 2 weeks, I was like, rang my parents up, said, look, I'm down here, got to go for this op. It's happening in 2 weeks. And I'm like, a bit like, oh, what do we do?
And you're here by yourself.
Yeah, I live at college.
Yeah.
So I don't have like my own place or anything. And I can't say no. It's happening.
Oh, yeah.
I was firm. I said, we can't get it done. Like, who's going to look after you? I said, I don't care. I'll figure a way. I'm getting this done.
You got a good crew at the uni there to look after you?
Yeah, I had a few good mates there that would help me out and things. The girl I was seeing at the time, she used to help me out a lot too. But, yeah, went for the operation. It happened to be that my old man was in Perth because he'd fly down. He flies down occasionally, like pretty often for work, for what he does.
What's he do?
He manages a fuel transport company.
Okay.
The Road Trains Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, my major sponsor for the
Oh, nice.
PCR, yeah.
Is that you got the hat on there? No, got
no. I was looking for a hat for him, but
4x4 mega store in Broome. Nice.
Yeah, it's my mate's business in Broome. Got to rep him. But he was there, so he told work that I got to go help my son out for the day.
Yeah.
So he took me to the hospital. I think got to get there at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Go in and take me to like the pre-med room, whatever. They clean up, shave all the hair off, whatever else. And I had a lady come in with a whole bunch of paperwork. She said, "Oh, look, Wylie, we're part of the research team for the meniscus transplant because it's so rare of an operation. We're going to track you for the next 12 months and see how you go with the process." I'm like, all right. So signed it, did the waiver, filled in she asked me all these questions, fitness, this, that, all the stuff. She said, "Yep, no worries, we'll be in contact a couple of weeks after the operation. No worries." I kid you not, I had at least 20 people from the hospital, either they're doctors or surgeons or nurses, come up to me while I was there before I went in to ask about the operation because of how rare it was. And
does that make you feel more comfortable or less?
Both at the same time.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? Like, how big of an operation is this that's happening to me?
Because it must be good to have all those eyes on you, knowing that they're going to do the right thing. But on the other hand, you go, "Is this some experimental thing?"
Yeah, exactly. And I was nervous. I was like, because I'm only 20 still.
Yeah.
What is going on? Why me? All this kind of stuff. Everyone had come spoke to me, bar the guy that's doing the operation, Pete. But that's normally how it is. He's busy. He's in his zone, getting ready to do what he's got to do. And I said, "I want to speak to Pete before I go in." They said, "You'll speak to him in the little room before they knock you out. You'll see him there." I'm like, okay. So because I also wanted to, they sent his like the guy that's just under him that helps him with the operation. I said, "Why is everyone like? Why is everyone coming to ask me about everything, this and that?" He said, "Today when we do the operation, every man and their dog is going to walk in and check it out." I'm like, "What?" He said, "It's that rare of an operation, doing a meniscus transplant."
I've never heard of it before.
It's a new operation. That's why you've got the research team following you as well to see how it goes, because it's so rare. I'm like, how rare? He said, like ACLs would probably do like 3,000 a year. These would probably do like 4. I'm like,
Jesus.
Yeah, and you're only 21. No. Or 20.
So you're
20.
in a perfect position for it to go well, I guess.
Go well, and I'm still wanting to play sport and want to see how it all goes.
Okay.
So, went in. It was a 7.5 hour operation, so it wasn't just a quick one. Because they had
major.
They did the femur as well, cut that and everything. Woke up, spent the night in hospital, and woke up, my knee was like a balloon, like big as it's ever been.
The trauma.
And I was like crying, Dad. I'm like, "Dad, what the hell?" Like, I was getting upset and angry, and I could tell he was a bit worried. Like, fuck, did we make the right choice to get his femur cut as well? Like, all this kind of stuff. It was bad. And he had to get on a plane the next day and go back to Darwin. It was just me. And so stayed the night, picked me up the next morning, took me back to college, and they gave me, like, obviously the chair that you put in the shower and all the other stuff. And set me up as best he could, and he had to get back on the plane and go home, and it was just me. And I had to be on crutches for 12 weeks.
And go to uni.
You
got a ground floor apartment?
No, I was on 4th floor, but I had an elevator.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's all right. It was doable.
Right. It was doable, but trust me, it was a feat.
Not with shopping bags, though.
No, not at all. But that was hell, for sure. That's probably one of the hardest times I've been through. That period of my life, for sure.
So you're on crutches for 12 weeks?
The first 4 weeks was no weight bearing at all, so I couldn't put my foot on the floor. I had to bag it for weeks to shower.
Oh, that is a nightmare.
And the pain I was in,
Really?
The pain from the operation was a joke. Like, I couldn't sleep, and I'd wake up in the middle of the night and need to take the painkillers and things like that. I couldn't rotate because my leg was just huge, and I had to let the femur heal because it was cut in half. It was crazy.
That's a major thing.
How
long till... Well, firstly, how is it now? Obviously, coming into a boxing match, it must be...
Yeah, so from that moment, going through all of that, I was so determined. I was like, once I get the clear to start training and doing everything, I'm doing everything I can to benefit myself. And because I've worked so hard, it's to the point now where I had my 12-month checkup on Tuesday, actually, for this at the hospital in Freo. And they looked and they said, "Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like, you're doing so well. Well, we don't really have anything to say. Just keep listening to Dave.
Yep.
Physio, he's got you. Listen to him, do everything he says. And, we can't fault it in any way. It's looking really, really good."
How's it feel?
Good. It's... When they stitch the meniscus in,
yeah,
they literally stitch it into place so it can't move.
Yeah.
So my knees are permanently tighter than the other one now.
Okay.
So this one I can like go for a quad stretch behind my back and lift my heel. I can't do that with this one.
Okay.
I have to do different stretches and things, but it feels good. Like running, I'm back in a running program, and that feels really good now. Running, no issues.
You're nervous?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get in a bit of more of a agility kind of stuff now, which is the first I've done since. I'm all right doing that because it's a really controlled environment, but we'll see how we go when I get back into like a little sport game or something, because we have plenty at college, but we'll see how we go. I know Dave, because the goal is to get back to playing soccer as well.
Okay.
And he's committed to that. He knows what I'm doing with the boxing, so we've laid off all the other kind of running. We're just doing 1 run a week now rather than I think I was doing 2 or 3.
I was going to say, Dave's done the boxing, so he knows this better than anyone.
Yeah, he knows what I'm going through, so he's really entailed my program around that. But he still thinks I could probably get back to playing end of May.
Okay.
So soon.
He doesn't sugarcoat it either.
No. I tell him that too. Like, he doesn't, and I said, don't bullshit me. Just tell me.
Oh, he won't. No, he doesn't.
Yeah, and I was surprised when he said that to me. He said that about a month ago, because when I first went through all the pre-interviews for this, the surgeon, Dr. D'Alessandro, told me that it'll be lucky if you go back to playing high-level sport or soccer. Like, this is injury. Like, because this is all we can do. If you ruin it again, you're ruined. You're done. I'm like, all right. Okay. What are you going to say? All right, I'm 20. I'm not going to do anything for the rest of my life. No.
Yeah.
I'll do what I need to do to be as prepared I can for it.
If you do go back to soccer and manage to play at that highest level, do you think that this may affect, for example, a club's willingness to take a punt on you?
For sure. I believe that. But when there's a will, there's a way.
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's people that have come back from 3 knee recons and come back and played AFL, and they've done very well.
Like right now, like there's always a slight bit of swelling around it, but nothing major, and it doesn't get any worse than that. It's just there constantly. I think that's just because how they said that'll take 2 years to go away because your body just needs to reabsorb it.
Okay.
So in terms of swelling, in terms of how it handles and stability, it's all fine. Really, really good. I can't complain. I'm over the moon with it.
That is a serious injury.
Yeah.
You had everything against you there. You had, coming from such a focused high-level sport that you obviously were part of, you've been injured, you did the right thing, and it turns out it wasn't, didn't repair properly. You're 20 years old. You're in the party, not saying the party scene, but you're in that age where you should be out with your mates and running a bit of a mark. You're in Perth studying and by yourself. Yeah. So that's a mean feat to get through all that and to get back to where you are. Yeah. Because a lot of people would have, and not judging these people, but I can imagine a lot of people would have gone for security, whereas they would have gone back home or really just dropped their bundle. Yeah, like my mum, she wanted me to defer my uni and move back for that semester or even that year to get my leg good, but I was just like, no. I felt pissed off. It's been too long. I don't care what I have to go through. I'm getting through it to get to where I want to be. The advances in the medical field as well in, say, the last 10, 15 years has got to be like reassuring for you. Yeah, for sure. Because it wasn't when I remember back in the day when, like, if anything like this happened to, say, one of my friends, I remember one of them had a tear in his cartilage and they just took it out. Yeah. That's what they did. And they did like lateral releases for tight ITBs. And you just think, was that the best option? No, they can do anything now, really. I think get those stem cells going. Oh, well. That's the next thing. Have you done any of that? No. I've asked about it because I do have a lot of wear in the cartilage because when I was trying to get back to sport, there was no meniscus. So, and they can't really repair cartilage. Yeah. They can only... I'm sure they use shark cartilage at one point. I think I heard that, but that wasn't mentioned for me at all. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if just one of my mates told me that as a joke. But they do a thing called an Oates procedure. It's when they take cartilage from a place of your knee where you don't need it, and they put it where you need it. Okay, but stitch it in.
apparently mine was too damaged to even do that. They couldn't like attach it to anything where they needed to put it, so they didn't. They just bypassed that part of the procedure.
Do they ever talk about PRP? I think it's platelet.
I've had one.
Platelet rich.
I've had one
in the knee.
Yeah.
How'd you find it?
I think it worked.
Painful?
No.
Jeez, I had one on my elbow, mate. It was one of the most painful things.
Really?
It worked. Nothing else worked, and then they loaded me up with this, and it blew
Plasma.
up like a balloon.
Because it's just out of your own blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm probably not the best person to do this, but when they took the blood, I had to watch it the whole way. Like I had to watch it, making sure they didn't switch bloods. I was so paranoid.
Yeah.
But that worked a treat for me.
Yeah, I felt like it worked. Dave thought it worked for sure because I had it done. Then I had to have a week off everything just to let it do its thing. Went back to physio and reduced the swelling. But that was a while ago. I can't remember when that was.
They need to legalise that stem cell stuff, don't they? Because you can do it like South America and places like that.
So I think that's what can redevelop your cartilage, I think.
Is it?
I think they could use it for that. I'm not sure.
Why don't they let people do that here?
I don't think it's that big of a thing yet. I'm not sure.
Oh, there's plenty of people out there with injuries that'll just say, yeah, load me up.
Yeah, they wouldn't care. They'd give it a go.
Oh, I would.
Yeah.
I'd just say, just hook me up to an IV drip of stem cells, just one at a time, start getting better. Mate, that is something else.
Yeah.
That is a major...
That's probably the most major... That's definitely the most major injury I've had. I've had some other big ones, but that's the one that's put me out the longest.
And this wasn't this long ago. So this is, say, 12 months ago.
12 months ago. I had the operation on the 1st of April last year.
What's the date today? Oh, so yeah, it is
12 months.
12 months.
Yeah.
And you are looking to get back into the boxing ring in, what is it, 23 days?
Yeah.
Against Alex, the blonde bombshell, right?
That's it.
That man can fight.
He can.
It's going to be a good one. Oh, mate, it's tragic to hear, but that is your commitment to getting better is phenomenal. That's outstanding.
It is.
It's very impressive. Hope you realise what you've done.
Yeah. Sometimes I've got to sit back and remind myself what I've been through. I'm like, well, I'm not there where I want to be yet, but I've come a long way.
So many people would have thrown in the towel.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've gone, nah, too hard.
Yeah.
Too hard basket. I'll just have this wonky knee and walk with a limp for the next, 40-odd years.
Yeah. My mum's obviously like a mum. She's very nurturing and thinks about me all the time. Say? Yeah. Mum, about what? The operation or the boxing match?
We'll get on to the boxing match. How did your parents go? I could only imagine how much was on their mind as well, being so far away.
Yeah, and how big of an op it was.
They would almost deem it experimental kind of surgery.
Yeah, for sure. And it wasn't like it was my wrist or something where I could still get around and do things. So I was bedridden for 2 weeks. I couldn't get out of bed for 2 weeks. I'd have people bring me my food. To get to the shower, I had to be helped to get in the shower. It was a joke. Really, really bad.
You don't need that at any age, let alone...
Then trying to go to uni. So obviously I didn't go to class. I messaged, got all the special consideration. I Skyped in instead.
Yeah.
They do that now. Well, I don't think they do it anymore, but they did because of COVID. Okay. I said, look, I can't come. And I sent them all my referrals and medical certificates. I said, yeah, don't worry, stay home.
Okay, so they were fine with it?
Yeah, I just had to sat at my desk and Skyped into the classes I needed to Skype into and just did it all from there.
Mate, I really do hope all this works out for you because you've obviously put in the hard yards and you've come through something a lot of people wouldn't have.
Yeah, for sure.
Feel proud of yourself what you've done?
Yeah. I used to look at it like, why me? I'm only such a young kid. I had a lot of potential, but still kind of look like that now. But I've come through it, and it's made me so much stronger. Yeah, and it's nothing I don't really think can break me down again after this. No,
it definitely put you in good headspace for some real struggles.
Yeah.
Marriage.
Wow, yeah, we got a while for then.
Oh, mate, that was a lot. That was an hour 19.
Was it?
Yep.
Jeez.
And time flies in here, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really does go. So, should we get on to this PCR?
Yeah.
Let's get on to this PCR, mate. We've been gas bagging for too long. I'm going straight into it, mate. You did mention before, but going on to me again. Sponsor, who we got?
Road Trains of Australia.
Road Trains of Australia. What's your association with RTA, as I call them?
So my father, he's the fuel and logistics manager for Road Trains Australia.
Yep.
And I work part-time there too. I have for the last few years during my gap year from
in
uni.
Perth?
Yeah, everywhere.
Okay.
They're based in RTA's based in Perth, Kalgoorlie now coming up, Geraldton, Broome, Darwin, and over in Queensland, top of Queensland. They're a big company,
Busy,
huge, family owned, huge company. Yeah,
okay.
a lot of cattle, fuel, and dirt.
They didn't drop a radioactive thing off the back of their truck?
No, that wasn't them. No. I know Dad, yeah, he manages all the fuel for them.
Okay.
Like, did it to all the mines and everything like that. And I've been working in the mechanics along with the tanker technician under Dad for like 3 or 4 years, just on and off. I just recently took over doing this management job for my old boy in Geraldton. Once every 5 weeks, I got to go up there and manage this. We load a crude oil ship out of Geraldton from a plant. We contracted in to transport the oil. So I just go there and do that stuff for him, and yeah, it's really good.
Works in with uni?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Beautiful.
I do my best to work it around uni. I don't reckon I'll go to the next one because it's mid-sem, like real in the middle, but the last one I went to was about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these guys were happy to jump on board?
Yeah, really
Beautiful.
happy.
Nice, a lot of support there?
Yeah.
Nice to
good.
see, mate. Tell me the reason that you've applied for this, because it's especially considering those injuries you've had.
Yeah.
It's a big step up.
So once I got the whole clear to start getting fit again after the injury, I was like, what can I do? Like, I can't run yet. I can't. You know, I'm not. I can go to the gym, but it's not me. Never has been. And I've always boxed for fitness growing up, and I was always not too bad at it. And I'm like, well, let's go boxing. So joined Anarchy, started boxing there, met Glenn, met Coach V, Ben, and just chipped away at that, all their group sessions as much as I was allowed to from the physio, from Dave. And then from there they said, let's talk about PCR, because PCR was still running at that gym at the time. So I'd see all these guys come in for training. I'm like, what's going on here? What are they doing? Yeah. And so not speaking, said, yeah, there's PCR. They fight at the Crown. I'm like, oh, that'd be pretty awesome to do.
Yeah.
And I said, what do you have to do to get into it? I said, keep training hard, apply when the things come up. If you're associated with this gym and train with us, we'll put in a good word for you, all that. Started training with V one-on-one. And yeah, when the applications opened, and applied and got the email, I think mid-Jan or so.
Is this the first one you've applied for?
Yeah.
It's pretty competitive. A lot of names in there.
Yeah.
A lot of people put their hand up, wanting to be part of it.
Yeah. So I was fortunate enough to get selected, and here we are.
Have you had any experience sparring prior to this?
Not in a ring.
No.
A few brawls.
Everyone seems to be fighting outside. I don't know, you people.
No, not too many actually. Honestly, not growing up. I was pretty. Oh man, I was strict on that.
Sound like you're pretty disciplined growing up.
Yeah, I was never in a situation where I really needed. I was never there. I was doing my own thing.
Yeah.
Keeping straight, and everyone knew that, and everyone respected that. Didn't have any issues growing up. But not sparring. I've only just started sparring. I started sparring before, a couple of weeks prior to getting the email, because Ben Keem, owner of Good Vibes now, on a Wednesday night he runs Team Keem, and it's for all his guys, all the boys. There's a lot of previous PCR fighters are in that class. There's
a lot of the guys that I've seen fight are still at Good Vibes since it's changed from Anarchy. Yeah.
So every Wednesday night, all these experienced dudes go in there, and we all
got to be watching who you're taking advice from, though.
Yeah,
those guys.
Yeah, I was mainly V and Ben.
Yeah,
give me all the advice, but I'm sparring guys that have fought before.
Who's that? Can I throw some names here so I can hang some? Well, I
had sparring last night, and they beat the piss out of me.
Who'd you spar?
Blakey, I'm not sure of his last name. He's fought in PCR. He's super handy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he caught me beauty last night. Because once we started sparring, they put me in the ring and said, "Yep, while he's fighting PCR, we're just going to work him as hard as we can."
That's good. That's a serious corner that you've got in addition to Nigel and Craig.
Yeah. So they've got these boys training me too, and Marco, I think, is it Marco?
Marco Pham?
Yep.
Oh, good man.
Yeah, sparred him last night.
Yeah.
He was my
great man.
Last round I did. I was knackered, and he's touching me up a bit. Just trying to keep my hands up, keep moving, but just soaking all their advice. They're really good guys.
I think they're going to be able to help you with the mental side of thing as well.
Yeah, like last night, the first time, I probably got smacked in the face really clean by Blake.
Yeah,
that was only in the second round of my sparring, and then just dealing with those things. Like, I'd rather them happen there against these guys than happen on the night for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, that's super beneficial to me, being there with those boys.
Just being able to keep composure when you are getting hit.
Yeah. So I've like last night, first time, I was like, wow, all right. Now I know what that feels like. If it happens on the night, I know how to cope with it, know how to deal with it, know how not to show it to my opponent, things like that.
There's very little holding that goes on. That's what I do see. It seems on the actual fights that I've seen.
Yeah.
Very little holding goes on, which is good, but much more entertaining.
Yeah.
In that sense. But that's great. That's only going to help you training with Ben, with V, Nige, Craig, and the rest of that crew.
Yeah.
That sounds great. This is your first PCR event.
Yes, I've never even been to one.
Have you been to the Crown? Have you seen the ballroom?
No, never
Mate,
been.
You're in for a treat. You seen the cardboard cutouts?
I've seen photos of them. I'm keen to, all my mates are keen for it when I take it back to college. I'm having it in my room.
Yeah. That's great. They're all there. They're life-size cutouts.
Yeah.
Except Glenn and Nigel's are twice the size of everyone else's. Mate, it is. They put it on. They put it on from the start. So they do a great job. I think it's Pim. I think Chloe's involved in it this year as well.
Yeah.
So those guys are great. You mentioned you're not staying at the Crown.
I haven't booked it yet.
Depends whereabouts you're fighting on the evening.
Yeah, well, because I was a bit torn because when I said, what do I do when I'm waiting around for my fight? Because we all have to be there at like 3 o'clock for like a rehearsal. Like they show us what we got to do, walkouts, this and that.
That's highly beneficial.
It is.
Yeah,
because I'm happy about doing this. But I said to Nigel on Tuesday or the other day, I said, what do I do when I'm waiting for my fight? He said, it's your night. Like, you're the fighter. You do whatever you got to do to get prepped. He just said, go wait in your room. Go chill out in your room by yourself. You don't have to be down here. Don't be down here. Everyone will be egging you up. You want to be nice and calm for your event. Yeah. I'm like, all right. Well, I haven't booked a room to stay yet. I live around the corner. And that's where I live.
Just get Nigel's keys. He'll lend you the room for a few hours.
I'm thinking maybe I might have to look into it because they said tonight is the last night. Crown's holding rooms for us.
Okay.
So I might have to get onto. I'll have a chat with them tonight. But yeah, that's that.
Being able to watch the fights. If you fight at 1, obviously it's different. But being able to see the fights beforehand, I think that can be beneficial as well.
I think so.
And see, because your mates, I mean, being Team Red now, which is my team. Being Team Red, you are going to be so invested in how your teammates are going as well.
Yeah. We're going to train together the next 3.5 weeks now.
And I think you'll see how competitive the two teams get.
Yeah.
Like how competitive
really,
Nige and Glenn get. Yeah, extremely competitive. So, all right, since you've been, obviously you're trying to manage university, the injury, you've still got that in the back of your mind. So how have you gone like with your lifestyle changes? Because being 21, you must have a pretty healthy social life as well.
Yeah, especially living at college. So,
is it like I see in the movies, mate?
Similar.
Is there fraternities?
No fraternities here. That's the US, but there's always something going on all the time. Like Wednesday night, student nights, which was last night. Everyone's across at the UWA Tavern on the beers because it was a cheap night for students. And this night's out. We have heaps of events. This Saturday they got a river cruise they're going on. The college, if you buy a ticket for whatever price, they book out a river cruise and all this alcohol and all this stuff. Like. They've always got social stuff going on. They're not shy of that. And for me, like all my mates are like, "Oh, you coming? You doing this?" I'm like, "No, I got a fight coming up. I got to be prepared for this as much as I can." Yeah, and that's like, don't get me wrong. I'll go on, say on a Wednesday night, I might go down and socialise for an hour or two and just sit there and have a chat. I'm not getting on the piss or nothing like that. I know what I still need to do in a few weeks' time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it must be hard, but then again, I suppose your mates being respectful towards it.
Yeah, my good mates are the ones that I see
okay,
like pretty often at college. They'll have a bit of a piss take with some of them. But one of them, he's on to me. He said, "Mate, how's your diet going?" He's on to me like.
Oh, okay, he's supporting.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, I appreciate that. I really do because then I got other mates that are like. Oh,
one drink.
Yeah.
One drink.
Come on, mate. Have a drink. Yes, fine. Who cares? I'm like, I care. My mum and dad care. Mum's not coming.
I was going to ask you, what do your family and friends think about you doing this?
Everyone's hyped up about it, for sure. All my mates are hell keen. They like think it's crazy. Just more because of what it is. Like at the Crown in the ballroom, just the event itself. If it was like just a normal. Like if I've been training, going to a fight at some fight thing on a Sunday.
At the Redcliffe Tavern.
Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
But because it's at Crown, I've got all these photos, a big media thing. Everyone's pretty hyped up.
Big deal.
Dad's keen, Mum's not. I can't even talk to Mum about training. Like when I told her I applied and got accepted, I got a fucking mouthful from her.
From Mum?
Yeah.
That's classic Mum.
And she's not coming. I was on the phone to her yesterday trying to convince her to come down for it. Cause everyone's leaving. It's just going to be her there. She said, no, I'm not coming. She told me, you're such a healthy boy. Nothing's wrong with you. Why do you have to go get punched in the head?
I can see it. I can see it. I think it's once you have kids, you'll understand.
Yeah,
more.
yeah. But that's just Mum. Like,
all mums.
I wouldn't change it for the world. Like if someone's thinking about me, it's my mum. Making sure I'm alright living down here by myself.
Yeah, because that's a fair way away for them to be.
Yeah.
Is your dad going to be giving your mum updates during the evening?
Probably not. She doesn't want any. She's like, she'll just call me the next morning.
Just send her a photo with you with the belt. Just holding the belt up.
She was like that at motocross as well. She wouldn't watch.
Oh, really?
She'd come because we ended up having a bit of a caravan. Like I put the bike in the back.
Okay.
Like she'd come because it's a big family thing. My sister would be there. But just as I'm about to put my helmet on and ride off to the start line with Dad, and she'll give me a kiss and she'll go wait in the van. And she won't come out until I get back. Just
scared you're going to get hurt?
Yeah.
That's a pretty big show of, I think, of respect from your mum in the sense of she's obviously terrified of you doing it, but she's putting her feelings aside to allow you to do it and not trying to stop you in any way.
No, she knows I love it.
Yeah.
I did love it when we did it. So my dad, like we're still talking about getting another bike now, especially if he somehow ends up moving down to Perth, or getting another one and getting back into it. Because that was just like our thing. We spent all the time. My dad was my best mate. He's my best mate.
That's great.
Yeah.
KTM bike, by the way?
Yeah, KTM.
Is that the way to go?
I think so.
What are those KTM 390s like?
I don't know much about. That's the
road bike.
I don't have much to do with them. Hey, I've always been more than just the race bikes.
Okay. I'm looking at getting a bike. I got no idea.
Yeah, 390. Did you say?
It's a 390.
So like a little super sport kind of thing.
Yeah.
I was looking at one. They're about, how much are they new? About $8,000.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. No, they look not too bad. I wanted to get one, and then my dad was like, "No."
Would 390? Would that be enough to get someone my size? I'm about 88 kilos.
Depends. Depends what you want to do on it.
Just take it easy.
Yes.
I can't afford to crash it or anything.
Yeah,
like that.
If it's taking it easy, it's fine. But I've got my other mates that have raced dirt bikes with me and had road bikes. Like, no, you want 1,000. You want one that goes.
Oh no, not for me.
Like, 390 is good just to zip around. Got a bit of go in it still. It does the job for sure, and it's reasonably cheap, like for a brand new one.
And KTM's the way to go.
For race bikes, I won't go anything else. I'm not sure about road bikes. There's a whole another range there. But dirt bikes on a track, I won't change from a KTM, I think.
Okay. Good to know. Thanks. Yeah. I was going to go a V-Moto 50cc little scooter. Do you have any fears or concerns about the night itself?
Not so much. Like, I don't know, like a fear of losing, I guess.
I think
everyone's got that.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to do the best. Mine's the fear of not doing my best.
Yeah.
So I know we've had an 8-week camp. My fear is not putting in as much as I can every session I go to, so I can be the best I can on the night. And so far, I'm working my ass off to make sure that happens. Make sure I'm ready, and win or lose, I know walking into that fight, I've done everything I can. And if my opponent beats me, fair play to him. He's putting the work too. That's
got to be, if anything, it's got to be able to help you calm down.
Yeah.
Because there unfortunately has to be, I mean, draws are extremely rare, but, you know, there always has to be someone that wins.
Winner and loser. Yeah. So if I go in there doing the best I can, that's all I can do.
What's your cardio like?
Pretty good at the moment. I've been training pretty hard, but obviously I want to make it better. I want to make it as best as I can. 6
minutes doesn't sound long.
No, I did 8 minutes last night, and that was a long time.
It's different, mate.
Especially when you get rocked and you're like trying to stand there and take more shots. You're like, fuck.
People keep coming.
People don't realise, yeah.
And because you also got to take into account on the night, you're in a completely different atmosphere as well. You got 2,000 odd people screaming.
Yeah, lights, cameras, everything.
It's all about you then.
all about that.
They do make you out to be superstars, I got to say.
Yeah.
I'm always tempted to get in there. I know I won't ever do it. I think my body could hold it together for 8 weeks, mate. I was going to ask you, you know, the teams were announced the other day.
Yeah.
You are Team Red.
Team Red.
How do you feel about Team Red?
I'm happy with Team Red. Yep. Really fond of Nigel and Craig and his wife at Counterbalance Fitness.
Have they got any other coaches in at the moment?
No, just himself and his wife and their son.
Their son?
Their son comes in and helps out a bit. And he's great too. Really,
Okay.
really good. Follows in his parents' footsteps for sure.
It's funny, they are, I know we've spoken about this before, but they are so different, those two, but they're both so well suited. Like it's like people say, is this person more suited to blue team or red team? But I think once you're in that team, you just become that person.
Become
like,
it, yeah.
But the people, like you can see someone go, yeah, this person's definitely a blue team or this person's a red team.
Yeah.
So Nigel's a bit
just
more.
Just the atmosphere of the teams are just so different.
Have they started that chat group yet?
Yeah, I'm in the red team. Red group chat on Messenger.
I said it to Breezy yesterday. Anything you hear come out of the mouth of anyone on the blue team, just consider it a lie. Okay?
I even thought that we had the matchups on Tuesday. They talk a lot of shit already. I think that's just Glenn. I'm like, you guys wait.
The lies that go on. There was one classic a few years ago, and it got me. And I knew that they were notorious for lying, but I still believed it. They said someone broke their hand and got injured, and they were getting replaced with someone. And this person, and they said we haven't got the opponent. They said you're going to still fight, but we don't know who your opponent's going to be.
Okay.
And the person never had a broken hand.
Oh, really?
They would do it. Oh, mate.
Just to play some mind games.
Just mind games. So just anything you hear.
That's what I mean. Like I said to you
lies.
Before, just when everyone's already coming up to me on the Tuesday saying about my matchup, I'm not even thinking about that. Thinking about me, getting as fit as I can, working on my skills, and then I don't care whoever it is on the night. I don't care who it is. As long as I'm ready to go, that's what matters.
If you get the win, you should call out Glenn.
Yeah. Let him have it.
$6 million man. I asked you your opponent. It looks like, from what I see, if this is correct, if I can actually get this up. Where the hell? There it is. Your opponent looks like it's going to be Alex Wright.
Yes.
Very handy, that young man.
He is. He's very handy.
You sparred him?
No.
Not yet?
Not yet.
You probably won't now, will you? No.
Haven't sparred him. I've seen him spar.
Yep.
Briefly. Yeah. Likes to move around. Pretty quick on his feet.
Very good match.
Yeah.
You two?
Yeah.
That's going to be very good wherever you guys do fight. It does get competitive when it comes down to the numbers as well, with the red and the blue. You know the overall score?
I think Blue's up by 1.
Up by 1.
Yeah.
I do remember they got that.
Change that. Sorry, Glenn.
You got your team. You got your opponent.
That's it.
Intimidation will start from the moment that you're introduced.
That's right.
Walkout music, mate. What do you got for me?
We're going a bit old school, but AC/DC, Back in Black.
Is this for the dad?
It's for my old boy.
This is for your dad. What was it? What was the other one? You said you may have something a bit newer. What were you going to go?
It's called Superheroes by Metro Boomin. So it's like a new song, no one, the young crew would have heard it, but no one, like my old man would have what the fuck's this?
This new crew.
Yeah.
Old boys. All right, go have a listen to this. Hopefully we're not getting it. Take it down. Oh, it's a classic, isn't it? It's the ultimate intro, this
imagine
one.
the doors opening up. With
the fog machines and everything.
Yeah.
Have you seen the intros?
I have, yeah.
You got to watch this kind of stuff. And what part are you going to walk out to? Is it the exact point? Dun, and then come out.
I reckon then the doors start to open, yeah.
That'll be the way to go, mate. That sounds awesome. That'll be good. That's great. Good to see some people choosing some music from pre-2020.
Yeah.
Garbage I've been looking at. Nickname, what do we got?
Wylie the Cavalry Scott.
Wylie the Cavalry Scott.
Is that how you pronounce it? I'm pretty sure the Cavalry.
Cavalry.
Cavalry. Yeah.
Cavalry.
The Cavalry, yeah.
Is that what I said? Hey, I'll ask that again because I butchered that.
It's Cavalry, hey. Cavalry.
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 Yeah, C-A-V.
Yeah, Cavalry.
Cavalry.
Cavalry, yeah.
Hang on, is that right? Hang on.
It's like when the army needs air support, they call them the cavalry kind of thing.
Cavalry.
Cavalry.
Say it again?
Cavalry.
Are you saying C-A-L or C-A-V?
Cavalry. Cavalry.
Cavalry.
Cavalry. Or cav, like cavalry.
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 Cavalry. We said it so many times.
Yeah, it's that.
Okay. Cavalry.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, I'll see that again. Okay. The nickname that you're going to have, that I'm going to be introducing as you come into ACDC Back in Black. What is it? Tell me.
It's going to be Wylie the Cavalry Scott.
Wylie the Cavalry Scott.
Yeah.
Cavalry. Any meaning behind cavalry?
No, I don't know. Me and my mates just at college, they're sitting around. The last night, actually, we were due to send them in, and we were talking about nicknames. Like, what do you reckon? And we were playing like Call of Duty and all the guys.
Call the cavalry in.
Yeah,
Nice.
That stuff. Yeah, calling the big boys.
Well, that's good, because that almost says that it's not just you coming, it's you with all your mates behind you as well. Bit of support there.
I thought that or Wylie the Coyote, a classic.
Oh, that's good. Man, it's a good nickname, Cavalry. Something different. Yeah. I like it.
Sure. I've had a look at a few of the other names from previous, and I haven't seen that up there.
No.
So I thought,
it's good, mate. I like it. I'll allow it.
Yeah. Cheers.
It's all about me. After it's finished, so on the morning of the 23rd of April, which is only 23 days away, how do you think you're going to go with the come down? With the aftermath of it all, because you've had this focal point, you've committed, you've made this obviously your life for the past few months. How do you think you're going to go afterwards?
I've actually thought about this. I'm like
nice. Yeah. I like the preparation.
Yeah, I've thought we're going through all this to the 22nd, which is Saturday. What next? Like, what am I going to do? So I'm going to wake up on the 23rd. I think we're having a bit of a
pool party.
Yeah, post pool party thing.
You will not see me at that pool party. Yeah.
Thought you'd be there with your microphone.
How's that? You see that?
Yeah. Oh, no, there you go. Look.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? That's
sorted.
good. Check that out, Glenn. Got those done. You're not having them.
But I don't know. I think it's always something on the horizon, for sure, even if I don't know it yet.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just stop and go back to doing nothing. I've always got to keep something, keep moving, keep the ball rolling,
You're going to be in peak physical condition, probably the fittest you've been for quite a long time. Obviously, playing that high-level sport, you were fit pre-injury.
Yeah. So probably what I'd say is, depending on how I go on the night, I've been training pretty hard with boxing. If I have a good run with it on the night, maybe get the win or something like that, might continue training. Might try get another amateur fight, maybe.
A couple of the fighters have gone on the fight. They've done well.
Well, yeah. Either that or, I've been speaking about my physio Dave is getting back into soccer.
That'd be great.
So they're pretty much just about there. Just the end of April, he reckons end of May, another month, 5 weeks, and he reckons I'd be back into training.
Kicking around.
Yeah.
That's great, mate. It's great that you have got plans, because I know that some people in the past may have been not lost, but just had that big come down from it afterwards.
Yeah, but there's so much on the cards. Like, I haven't mentioned this yet, but I've been accepted to go on exchange to the US for second sem as well.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Whereabouts in the US?
Right in the middle in Kansas.
Does your mum know about this?
Yeah, mum knows.
Okay, good. Just making sure mum knew.
knows.
That's all.
Yeah, mum knows.
That'll be all right.
Yeah. So I'm tossing that up as well now still. Do I go or do I postpone it till maybe the start of next year, because I've got a lot going on at the moment.
Just make sure that knee's okay.
Yeah,
mate.
that's the big thing. I don't want to go over there with not fully 100% yet, because especially I'd want to go over there and try their sports, maybe like a bit of American football and a few other things.
Just don't do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
No,
mate. Don't blow a knee or anything.
No.
Mate, that's great to see. It's great to hear that you've got some things in place that, because that come down I think would be hard for a few people to deal with.
Go from everything to nothing like overnight. It's just, what do you do with yourself?
No. Go back to work or something.
Exactly.
Go back to 9 to 5.
All this high life just to back down to the reality, hey?
Just wear the belt.
Yeah,
you can.
Wear it to work.
That's about it, mate.
Yep.
We've been going for well over 2 hours now. Mate, it's only 24 days away. I want to thank you very much for spending the time to come in here and chat to me today. It has been a pleasure.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
It's been not great to hear about the injury, but it has been very educational and to see how far you've come, especially with that horrific knee injury. And I want to wish you all the best for the evening, and I'm sure, depending wherever you are fighting on the night, we'll definitely have some time for some celebration drinks afterwards.
Sure, I'll catch you then.
Thanks for your time, mate, and I'll chat to you soon.
Thank you. Cheers.